Hey, welcome to Metal Sharpens Metal. My name is Daniel.
Wait. Oh my gosh. Did he forget to put the mic on his shirt? We'll just see if he notices.
And I'm excited you're here. We are back with another Shuggy songy.
You don't have to say it like that.
I said it normal.
About snakies. I looked into the lyrics, and it's a bit of a snaky tune, as they say. Nobody says that, but it's true. Today's song is called God He Sees in Mirrors. What a title. That is,
That's heresy, my friend.
it really is, though. Ah, fudge. Yeah, no, but it is. That is heresy. I would not recommend seeing God in the mirror. It could be one of two things, neither of which are good. We're going to talk about that later. But yeah, I'm very excited. There's been so many people recommending Meshuggah songs in the last few videos that I've done for them. I decided on this one because the lyrics were very intriguing. So let's go check it out. Hang on. I feel like I'm about to see God. I'm not going to pause this a whole bunch of times, but what was that? Thomas's snare, I feel like didn't repeat. It's like da da ga ga da, like just weirdness and holy smokes. Okay. Also, the bass is so growly. Coiled. These riffs are coiled. These riffs are like a forked tongue. Whoa. And then back in. Oh my gosh. I thought it was going to be a build. What are those? These fills are like, I never know when they're going to end in like a change up. I mean, are those what? These guitars, like, almost changing to the eighth note triplet pulsar. Chromatic again? Wow. The music is just always testing the bounds of absurdity. And you just get so lost. Like, if you're not paying attention, you'll never ever find the one again if if you don't start from the beginning and just know. You're not gonna like just jump back in. Man, that change up just... It's reminding me of either Rational Gaze. I think it was Rational Gaze. There's that break. Adding those syllables where they don't exist. Yeah, this transition to these big like proggy sounding chords. What? Wait. Just like 30 more seconds, but I think we're done. They're just like, deal with it. Let the implications of that song just ring out for 30 seconds. We don't really care that we left your brain scrambled. They're very rude when it comes to people's well-being. All right, I wanted to check that last. So it's just like some guitar note held out with tons of reverb. Yeah, something like that. Kind of clean tone. Yeah, wow. So like I've said, like they take a concept to the point of absurdity and just blow it up. This one dude, I think, was describing that this song has a single pattern that just goes on a loop, but the loop I saw somewhere else maybe never ends, like maybe never starts over at the very beginning in a way that you'd expect, right? Like a lot of music will be kind of cyclical in that way. In 4/4, there's often 4 measures, 4 counts of 4, and you can, like, that might be a whole verse or something, or just like the section of the verse, depending on how big your counts are, whatever. We're not going to get super nerdy here, but there's a time and place for getting super nerdy because it is fascinating. And the way that these guys can take those circles, draw them bigger, and just like devolve. Well, and okay, so this is going to go perfectly with the lyrics too, because we're going to talk about coiled snakes, like, you know, using that type of imagery. And if this is a coil, like, okay, so here's how to say it. If it's not a circle that meets and then repeats, then it's a spiral that is going, in this case, probably down. I don't think this is an upward spiral. Wow, that's a song. That is a Meshuggah song. You got this Burning Man on the front who looks like, you know, Terminator 1, but he's way more knifey and less shotgunny than Arnold was. And he doesn't look like he's the nice version yet that was trying to protect John Connor, but he is menacing, to say the least. All right, so I mentioned it's about snakes, and that's it. That's all it is. But yeah, this one is describing a despotic, tyrannical leader, like in the most vivid terms, like the worst version of anyone. You think Trump is a fascist? You think Putin's a fascist? Like, you ain't seen nothing yet, right? This is the one who will fascize all other fascists, right? And as a side note, there seem to be a lot of snake references in some Meshuggah songs. I'm pretty sure they use the word Ophidian in a couple different songs. And I know I sound very smart using that word. I didn't know what it meant until a few minutes ago when I Googled it. Even though I play Destiny 2 and there is a gauntlet that is called the Ophidian Aspects. It's got like these cobras on top of them. So I should have known, right? But it's a snake reference. It means snaky, serpenty things. Yeah, I wanted to focus on a couple lines that I found the most interesting in this song. He references the illustrious morph of man and relinquishing the blame by shedding his skin.
Yikes.
And those lines are just awesome ways of reiterating the snake imagery. And I think it relates perfectly to the title as well. After the character sheds his skin and goes through this transformation, he starts to see God when he looks into the mirror. And this isn't a dude tripping on acid and being like, oh, I talked to Jesus and he was actually, Viggo Mortensen from Lord of the Rings. No, this is a guy who's like, oh, I am God now. And I feel like the skin that he was shedding is his very humanity. Like he doesn't have any of it left. So he's now able to see God in the mirror. He believes he's looking at God. And that's wild, right? Like that literally never happens in real life. So anyway, let me describe an example where it did happen. I wanted to talk about this book, That Hideous Strength. I had a time where I actually read it for a prior Meshuggah video. I thought it was interesting, but that video was going to get too long. So I'm going to put that section into this video now and describe it there. But one of the main characters, Mark, he is kind of being worked on by this society. They're trying to change and alter his view of reality and what's right and wrong. And they're trying to mold him so that he will do the things that they want him to do. And they're not using like lobotomies, they're not using electroshock therapy, they're doing something really subtle. And I thought it was super interesting. He's in this room and it's kind of got these weird proportions and these weird paintings all over the wall. He describes like a giant mantis playing fiddle while being eaten by other mantis. A man with corkscrews instead of arms, bathing in a flat, sadly colored sea beneath the summer sunset. That's kind of hilarious. So all these weird ones. And he says, at first they seem rather ordinary, though Mark was surprised at the predominance of scriptural themes. And they were using this to kind of undo his cultural Christianity in his mind. Was it a trick of the lighting that made each picture look like something seen in delirium? When once those questions had been raised, the apparent ordinariness of the pictures became their supreme menace, like the ominous surface innocence of the beginning of certain dreams. So it like kind of seems normal, but you feel unsettled. Every fold of drapery, every piece of architecture had a meaning one could not grasp, but which withered the mind. And I thought that was the interesting part. It's like you don't even notice it when you're in it, but your mind is withering because of what you're being exposed to. So yeah, I thought this was a sobering warning to really pay attention to what we're consuming and critique these things, watch over our souls as we enjoy the media that's out there. The devil doesn't often approach you in a red suit with a pitchfork. He starts by mixing in just a little bit of deception into something that is true and established and beautiful. And this especially happens as we get swept up in the culture around us, when all the people around us are thinking a certain way. And it's just like in the air. People are only perceiving reality in one way. Now, I'm not saying that listening to Meshuggah is going to make you evil over time necessarily, unless your heart starts worshiping some of these concepts and you don't even realize you're doing it. But what I'm saying is, in this case, this self-righteous, unforgiving snake that's sitting on this throne, this horrible leader, is the one that has kind of given way to this erosion of his soul over time. He's morphed away from being a man, and he's shed his skin. Now he's become this tyrannical snake. Most normal people, when they look in the mirror, they don't see God, or at least they don't realize if they're seeing God. People do worship themselves all the time, right? But this guy is like full in invested. He believes this worldview. He thinks this is real. And it's not great.
Not great.
And in the video I did with Grant for Judas Priest, I talked about how some people want to distance themselves from power because they see it being abused so much. And they're like, well, if power is being abused, it must be inherently bad. The problem is we do need something over us. We do need someone ruling over us, because otherwise certain things are going to arise to fill that void if there's no king. In the Old Testament, Israel wanted a king to rule them because they wanted to be like the surrounding nations. God, through the prophet Samuel, told them that this king was a bad idea. They were going to lose more freedom than they were going to gain by having this king over them instead of just God. Jesus also says in the New Testament that his burden is easy and that his yoke is light. But yeah, whenever people find God's presence or his law overbearing, they're missing the point. Psalm 103:13 says that in his authority over us as a father, he actually shows us compassion while he's ruling over us. So his way is going to be way less burdensome and actually way more life-giving than any of the alternatives. This song seems to be describing the worst case possible, the worst form of dictatorship, but it is where the trend will go if we take God out of the picture and we try to run things ourselves. So I hope you enjoyed that song today. I know I did. Man, they're mind-bending to listen to. Keep the Meshuggah recommendations coming. I think I want to jump into Chaosphere eventually, because that one's been recommended a couple of times before. And also about half of the songs on Kolos were requested. So I'd like to get to that as well, because these guys make some really thought-provoking material. I really enjoy it. I appreciate you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. We are back with another Shuggy songy. about snakies. You like boas, those are kind of cool. Sometimes there's green snakes, blue snakes, all kinds of colors. You know, go to the zoo and become a herpetologist. Like, it's great, right? With a shuggy songy, a snaky shuggy songy, snaky shuggy. Sorry, maybe you'll be able to forgive me. And here we are. And those are, wow.